NJ, we're going to be doing something different today, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing TNA, Impact Wrestling.
Woo!
Alright then. So, this is going to be our first TNA Impact, or now known as Impact Wrestling review. We are the British Fist, of course. Ka-ching. Either way. Make sure you guys subscribe up above to our channel and like this video, and of course put your comments on the Impact Wrestling show down below, as we've shown you.
And you can contact us in the link in the description box below.
The lovely people can, of course, to contact us. But anyway, after what we thought was a pretty decent Impact last week, or Impact Wrestling, we should call it, let's see if TNA can carry on the momentum going into this episode of Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, let's see.
Impact Wrestling started off doing one thing well this week. They didn't have a damn Immortal fucking promo. Right, but what we opened with today was, we opened with Velvet Sky and ODB fighting in a photo shoot, which was kind of strange. We had a cat fight between the two. God, ODB is just, she isn't a woman. She's a beast.
Yeah.
I think her versus Karma would be an awesome feud.
Well, if they ever joined up, yeah.
She wasn't TNA at times.
Was, yeah.
But anyway, ODB ends up beating up security guards. She's a fucking tough girl, isn't she?
Well, I think I found this, not just because I'm a man, but I found this kind of entertaining. Because we don't really see this in WWE. We just see two women scrapping it
It's definitely
backstage, dragging it up all the way through backstage to the outside. I just thought it was good.
And do you watch women for their wrestling skills? Do you as well?
Yeah, very much.
Oh, okay.
They're very good at it.
Yeah. So the fight eventually gets to the ring. ODB is kicking Velvet's ass, as you'd expect. She's the bigger woman. Velvet Sky is the model diva for the model knockout, I should say.
Yeah.
And then at least we got to see some Velvet Sky bikini time, didn't we?
That was
because she's hot. We need to see more bikini time more often with this girl.
She is, but I found the other one.
ODB.
Yeah, I'm still new at this.
Big girl.
Yeah, I thought.
Oh, we are new at this, so please be patient.
Yeah, I thought she did pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was all dominant and taking charge. I enjoyed that.
Again, it's a good example of someone playing a good heel, the dominant heel, which was good to see. She basically, I think this is build up for a feud they're going to have. I don't think they're having a match, but they're building up some kind of feud between the two based on Velvet Sky's model personality and ODB getting fired or something. A storyline playing out like that. Anyway, we end with ODB kicking Velvet's ass pretty much, as she did throughout the whole segment. And then Miss Tetchmarker comes out and helps Velvet at the end of the segment. Aww.
That was
bit of
nice.
female love, eh? Yep. So what opening segment? What did you think of it, NJ?
Entertaining, different to what I normally see on WWE.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a good thumb up.
I mean, in terms of an opening segment, I can say that this is brilliant because it wasn't a fucking Immortal segment. And I think, to be honest, that says so much, so I'm just going to finish there.
Let's finish.
Yeah. After that, we get a couple of backstage segments with Eric Bischoff making a #1 contendership for the X Division Championship between Kazarian and Kendrick. I was looking forward to this because I love me some X Division action.
And I like Eric Bischoff action.
That sounded so
wrong. No, it sounded a bit wrong.
But anyway, we'll move on from that slightly awkward moment. We had a little segment between Anderson and Eric Young as well, that's going to make history tonight. Reliving some old memory of some sort that I don't really remember.
They can try.
I probably wasn't alive for it, so I don't know. Which leads us to an Eric Bischoff segment in the ring. And basically, he calls out Beer Money and asks them to hand over the titles as Bobby Roode is injured and they can't defend their tag team titles at the next pay-per-view, which is Slammiversary.
It's a bit of a shame, but Bischoff on mic, I miss. So to have him on mic, because I've just started watching it, so it was good to see.
Yeah, so be patient with us.
And then it brings out the next person who's good on mic.
Oh, Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Bobby Roode did do some good work on the mic. But when Alex Shelley came out, I've never really heard Alex Shelley on the mic properly before, so I was pretty impressed with what he had to say. Basically, he was saying that he should be tagging with James Storm as Bobby Roode is injured for the tag team match against British Invasion at the pay-per-view. Speaking of a pay-per-view, it's hype for a pay-per-view, isn't it? Something which we're not getting too much of from WWE at the moment, to be honest.
No, so it's kind of got us as we're just starting, it is getting us interested in the pay-per-view, so they're doing their job right.
Yep, he says the network has sent him. Just, whatever. And they made, Alex Shelley and James Storm have made the tag team Gun Money!
Go Gun Money.
That's going to be the most awesome tag team ever, mate. That's
Sounds it.
Jesus Christ, that's going to be an awesome match.
But how long is it going to last?
Probably, I guess it lost the match, one match or so. I don't know. But anyway, that was actually. I think it was a decent segment. It was good hype of the pay-per-view, tag team titles. So I'll give it a thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up too. It did its job.
Okay, let's move on to the next segment then.
Yeah, let's.
And so after 30 whole minutes, that's usually the length of an Immortal promo, to be honest. After 30 whole minutes, we have a match, and it's a very good match at that, between Matt Hardy and Crimson. I thought that was a very good match.
Matt Hardy, a wrestler that I've seen wrestle before, so if I see him wrestle again in TNA against a wrestler that is new to me, it was good. They both put on an okay fight, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, for the time it was given, I think it did well putting Crimson over. I mean, you're taking Matt Hardy, who's not really going to be at the pay-per-view, and you're putting someone over who's going to be involved in a feud at the pay-per-view, so it kind of makes sense in that way. You know, I do like the way TNA are making Crimson this undefeated thing, and he's going up against Samoa Joe, who, when he began in TNA, was supposed to be this undefeated guy. So it kind of works that way.
Yeah.
So you thought the match was pretty good then, did you?
I think it was pretty entertaining because it was good to see Matt Hardy, because in him showing how good of a wrestler he can be. He's not the greatest, but for TNA he's pretty much okay against someone that looked really dominant and good.
That's what I was going to ask you next. What did you think of Crimson? Because Crimson is an upcoming guy in TNA. I just want to know your thoughts on Crimson.
A very big dominant guy for what I've seen in just one match.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, if they keep him this way, good.
Yeah, and Crimson wins clean, which is good. He needs a win against someone established like Matt Hardy. And then at the end of the match, Samoa Joe comes out and immediately gets speared by Crimson, which is good as they're in a rivalry at the moment. So it's kind of hype for the pay-per-view once again.
The only thing I'll say about that is it's too quick.
Yeah,
it had a little punchy thing, then a spear.
But still, at least it's something that they're doing to hype for the pay-per-view, which is, you know, what they should be doing on their shows, hyping for the paid events. So
yeah, that's true.
That was good. I did enjoy that little segment there. But then, after that, we had a backstage segment between Eric Young and Mr. Anderson. We've already talked about this before, but we had a whole TV segment full of backstage segments. How fucking bad was that?
I didn't enjoy this as much. It was just the same thing that we knew. Yeah.
When you dominate your TV segment with backstage segments, you just think to yourself, does wrestling really matter? Or do you know what I mean? They say wrestling matters, but does it? If they're doing like a whole TV segment just backstage.
Well, I'll answer that question a bit later because I might answer in more detail later.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right then. So, we have a match next. So let's move on to that.
Yeah, let's.
We then have a match between Angelina Love, who come out with Winter. Oh, she's English, and I think she's quite hot, in my opinion. Winter.
Well, the match went very hot.
Oh, she was against Miss Teschmacher, and it was an okay match. It's just that it just didn't really entertain me that much.
It didn't. The match was boring. The result was boring. It weren't like a move like, oh wow, great finish.
Yeah, well, I mean, Angelina Love, of course, is going to get the push when she's going up against Mickie James for the title at Slammiversary. So we kind of expected her to win. So I don't know. I think that match did its job, but it wasn't the best of matches. But there we go. The next match. Oh my god. I call this a match, but it really wasn't a match, was it? We had Mr. Anderson, who was dressed up as the old Sting, as he's been doing it pretty recent weeks to hype his match with Sting, against Eric Young, who was playing the not-so-great Moolah, or Muda, or whatever the hell the name was. I can't even remember. Before my time. How much bullshit was this?
Again, it's a match, so I'll give it that. They're actually having matches coming now.
Yeah, well.
Because the whole first of TNA, there was not much matches.
In the first hour, there was 2 matches.
So now they're actually...
Wrestling matters, yay!
But now they're bringing on the matches. I think, like this match, let's just get to that. Again, I watched it, but I just weren't staying connected to it. No. It just weren't that much of a great match.
Well, I mean, the ending didn't help. You had Mr. Anderson getting distracted, and then Eric Young hitting him with the mist, kind of reminiscent of Tajiri. Rolling him up.
I so thought he had the win there before he got breath missed. I just thought, that's it, match over.
What I don't get is why they're making Eric Young beat Mr. Anderson when Mr. Anderson's got a title match with Sting at the pay-per-view. I just don't understand it.
No, I was looking at this thinking, Mr. Anderson's got this match won, basically because we all know who he is. We all know that he had someone come out to distract the ref, but I don't get it.
And then we have Gunner attacking Gunner, the jobber, I like to call him. We have Gunner attacking Eric Young, and and then we have Anderson beating on Eric Young. You're thinking these two guys are beating on Eric Young. Mr. Anderson is getting involved with Eric Young when he's, but then at least Sting makes the save, so that was kind of a good end to that segment, I guess.
Pretty much it, yeah.
A bit of a nostalgia moment for Sting, usually when he comes out, for me, really. Anyway, anything else you want to say about that segmente?
No, but again, at first viewer watching this, it was good to see Sting, I think, for me. Maybe he's not the best, but I haven't seen much of Sting, so having him get involved in this at the end of this was good.
Okay then, so are you ready for the next match, which was an X Division match?
Good.
I love me a bit of X Division. I'm Brian Kendrick, by the way.
Oh, okay, I'll get you now.
Right, okay. The next match you had was Brian Kendrick versus Kazarian for the #1 contendership for the X Division title to face Abyss at Slammiversary. And NJ, I just want to get your thoughts on this match, your first thoughts on X Division matches themselves.
Okay, these matches have been told are meant to be really good, entertaining, because of who gets involved. But when I saw Brian Kendrick, I thought, I remember you idiot.
The Brian Kendrick, the heel in WWE, remember?
And now, him here, I just thought, they're not going to make him pick up the win.
Yeah.
Not him.
Well, Kazarian makes more sense to win because he's a more established X Division guy to go against Abyss, for example.
The one thing I am upset about this match is the obvious fact that it was flipping time limited.
Oh.
And I just thought time limit matches are stupid.
Oh, although I had a bit of a thing about the time limit, I will say at least the match went on for 10 minutes, which is longer than you usually get on TNA. And they gave it to the X Division, which at the moment is being kind of buried. So at least they're kind of doing something to elevate the X Division by giving them 10 minutes of wrestling time.
I think it should have been longer.
Oh, of course it should have been longer. It could have gone on for 15, 20 minutes if it wanted to, but they're not going to do that on a show because they don't usually make the matches last more than 7 minutes.
Well, if it did go on to 15, 20 minutes, we would have had a clear winner.
Yeah.
But sadly, no.
But yeah, so we had that time limit, and then we had Bischoff giving the match 5 more minutes, and after about a minute, Abyss comes out and beats on Kaz and Kendrick, and I'm thinking here, Vince Russo's writing the show. Yeah, remember the old WCW swerves he used to pull.
And when they had the match restart, I thought, good, we can get a winner here.
But nah, it's a draw, so who knows what's going to happen with the X Division.
Probably have a rematch.
Oh, they better have a fucking rematch.
And that guy, the guy who came, who was his name?
Abyss.
He spoke on mic saying,
"Oh God,
the war is over" or something.
I noticed how spit was coming out of his mouth every time he said something because he's got his bottom teeth missing.
Oh,
overall, I'd say this is a very good match for a TNA, for an Impact Wrestling show. It was a very good match. I would have thought, showcasing the X Division. Could have gone on for a bit longer, but it did its job. It's promoting the X Division, which is what TNA needs at the moment.
But it didn't actually really do its job because we still haven't got #1 contender.
Yeah, but at least it's a bit of a cliffhanger for next week, kind of. I don't know. I'm just trying to not bash on it too much because I thought it was a good match. So, anything else you want to say about that?
No, that's
right. Let's move on then.
Yeah, let's. We then have an AJ Styles and Buddy Ray segment.
And was this segment one of the sort of highlights of the night? I thought this segment was very good.
This outbeat the matches and of the segments. I really like this.
I think this and the X Division match were kind of on par with me. I just thought the first thing I thought when AJ Styles come out was, "Where's the neck brace? You've had it for the last 2 weeks and you've been beaten down for the last 2 weeks. So where is it?" But don't worry, I'm not too worried about that. But I mean, it's setting up for the pay-per-view match between the two when we find out the match is going to be a last man standing match. So I'm looking forward to this match now.
Well, I'm going to say 2 things about this.
Well,
number 1, again, this goes back to me talking about WWE again, but it was good to see Bub involved. It's good to see how his character's grown since WWE.
He's a great heel.
Yeah, so I really liked him there. Talk about the last man standing, seeing Bub Ray grow from a tag team member in WWE to what he is now, I think it should be a great match.
Well, speaking of growing, or ingrowing in some cases, we had some penis references which were quite funny.
They were funny.
But I was very impressed with Bully Ray's mic work. I think he's doing really well to put himself over as a heel. And you've got AJ Styles in there, who's one of the biggest, who's over with the fans so much. So you kind of. It's a good segment between the two, and it's set that their match at Slammiversary. So.
Bubba was really good at bringing in heat. The amount he was on mic, he just kept bringing more and more.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I like the way how this was devoted to the pay-per-view. So it's not a match, but it's devoted to the pay-per-view, so it's a good build. That's all I'm going to say about that. And it was very good. I thought the interaction between the two was good. They're going to have a good match. I expect AJ Styles to win it because,
Bubba's not there yet.
I just think that the rivalry itself needs to end. Well, it kind of needs to end now, so AJ Styles can move on to something else. But that's just my opinion on that one.
Well, again, as I'm new to this, I would like to see these two go at it, and hopefully, you say have AJ win.
It'll be one of the better matches of the night, I imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we actually have a match. So shall we move on, MJ?
Yeah, let's. And now we have a Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner versus Angle and Matt Morgan.
Oh, Matt Morgan. Whoa, he's a big guy, isn't he?
Again, I'm going to do what Zach have done these last couple of matches. We have 3 wrestlers that I remember from WWE.
Potentially 4, because Jarrett was in WWF and Scott Steiner was in WWE for a while.
Well, Scott Steiner I can remember a lot about, and I'm saying seeing Kurt Angle, Matt Morgan, Scott Steiner, all wrestling again. I thought they're still going, they're still good, they still put on a great match, but the match overall was not as great as they are.
No, and the reason for that was there was more concentration on that backstage bit. The backstage bit was good because it means that I think it's a good excuse for Karen Angle to not get involved in the matches that they're going to have at Slammiversary. But there was more focus on that, and it was just a little bit off for me.
But going back to in the ring, that backstage was a big thing that happened because she got injured.
You're not going to talk about the end of the match.
But in the ring, flipping low because the ref was distracted by what's going on backstage.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner wins.
It wasn't the best of endings, but this is one of the problems when you have you're trying to do too much in one match. You've got a rivalry between 2 people. I don't mind the tag team match. It's just that you go backstage, do all this stuff between Jarrett and Karen and Angle, and it's just like you're doing too much.
What I will say to this, I'm going to give it a good positive thing.
Yeah.
The referee got distracted differently to how referees normally get distracted.
Oh God, you mean like by a fly? Or,
or someone's
a piece of debris on the floor.
Or something stupid like that, yeah.
Mm.
And I'm saying with them having that injury fight backstage, it did have the referee distracted differently and did give. Because I think if we didn't have a distraction, if it won cleanly, who would have won?
Probably Jarrett and Steiner, just because Jarrett's the founder of TNA.
So they pretty much had the same win as it is.
I don't know. I think this match did its job. You know, you got Angle and Jarrett and Steiner and Morgan. They're both in rivalries, so I guess it kind of helps feud both their rivalries in one match, but I guess it does the job.
Well, talk about that. While we were watching, you were saying, let's hope that Scott Steiner and
Matt Morgan
don't have their in-ring time.
Yeah, because I want to see them get their in-ring time at the pay-per-view. I don't really want to see it now. They had a little bit, but not as much as I thought, which is good. They're keeping them away from each other.
Like at the beginning, Angle knew. They knew to swap.
Yeah, they tagged their opposite guys in, which is good stuff. So
yeah.
It was good not seeing them go at it too much before the pay-per-view, because I'd rather see it at the pay-per-view.
And you see the build-up, like, as you said, that Jeff Jarrett's
wife
got injured and they both shout at each other. So, it's building up. It's building up.
Please let Angle win at Slammiversary. We don't want to see Jeff Jarrett as the number 1 contender. Just make Kurt Angle win.
Please do.
Yes. Plus, he's awesome. Let's move on, NJ.
Yeah, let's.
So, TNA gave us a bone this week by not giving us an Immortal promo at the beginning of the show. But no, they give us it at the end. Because Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff come out and they start talking about Mick Foley and that whole message thing they got during the show.
Bischoff's really worrying about it. Bischoff was.
And Hulk is like, brother and all that kind of stuff. You're my partner and my brother. It was a bit confusing. But what was the main part of this segment? Just say it. Why are you
Mick
laughing?
Foley, you're fired!
Can you please explain why you were laughing?
I was like, we don't hear much in WWE anymore, so having it in TNA, someone's getting fired on my first night watching it. Yes!
But yeah, I think I don't think I get this. Like, why would he be fired by the network when he's the network executive? I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been watching it that
Well,
long.
if he's getting fired, it's the end of whatever happened between Bischoff and Mick Foley. It's finished now because Mick's fired.
Well, let's just hope the X Division doesn't suffer because of this, because Mick Foley was trying to get the X Division back on its feet. But, I don't know. I didn't really like this segment that much, especially with it being the main event. I really like, why have a main event as a segment? Why not have it as a match? Especially if wrestling matters so much. Do you know what I mean?
True, and it could have finished with that Jarrett match.
I suppose it ended on a big note. So, what were your overall thoughts of that segment, the end segment?
I'd say I'd give it a thumbs up. Not 2 thumbs up, only 1, because I'm just saying that it was good, as I said, to see Hogan again, because it's been a while since I've seen him. Hogan and Bischoff, it was good to see Bischoff, them 2 work together.
How many times did we see Bischoff during the night?
Oh, him so worried.
It's almost like he's their fucking world champ.
But the segment overall...
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs middle just because, I don't know, I just didn't get it or why it was done. especially in the main event. But anyway, should we move on to our overall thoughts to the show, NJ?
Yeah, let's.
So NJ, I think the big question for the YouTubers out there is, what did you think of Impact or Impact Wrestling this week? Give your honest opinion as a first-time watcher.
My first-time watcher, my opinion would be that I really weren't too entertained. It weren't as great as I was hoping it was going to be. People kept telling me, "Oh, it was good here, it was good there," but it did its right for the next pay-per-view. But overall, I weren't too entertained.
What was the weakness? Was it the segment, the number of segments, or
the segments? And I think when it comes to the matches, they didn't finish as well as I was hoping them for, and the whole tournament thing sucks ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna. I think this week's Impact was okay. We had good X Division action. We had some good matches of the ones we had. They were given enough. They were with the time they were given, I suppose. There was some good segments, some good build up to the pay-per-view. So overall, I'm going to say this was an okay show. I'd probably, if I was going to grade it, I'd probably give it a C or something. What would you grade it?
Well, first I want to say that I've got to add is that it was good for me to see wrestlers that I've seen in WWE again. It was good to see them doing their thing.
Yeah.
I've seen how great they've improved, so I'm going to give this one probably a C minus.
Okay, so you're just below me then.
Just below, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. But yeah, I mean, as first-time reviewers of TNA, you know, we hope you're patient with us because we're not too overly familiar with it yet. But I hope in time we do improve as reviewers. But we've got to start somewhere, haven't we?
We do.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, unless you have anything else to say, I'm gonna end the video.
Just hope next week's better.
Yeah. Well, let's hope next week is better. I'm definitely gonna watch the pay-per-view though.
Same here.
Yeah, alright then. So that has been it from us, the British Fist. You've heard our thoughts on Impact or Impact Wrestling. We want to know your thoughts and also give us some feedback on our video and where we went wrong or something. We could do with the feedback on our first video. Put your thoughts in the comment section below, of course. Subscribe, like, same old stuff. Thank you very much for watching us once again on our first TNA Impact Wrestling review. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!